Auto Owners Insurance, simple human sense.
We're continuing to see mild conditions into the forecast for today. Temperatures are into the 50s, 59 degrees in the Lansing area, 59 in Grand Ledge, and 62 degrees down in Jackson, 61 degrees into Hillsdale as well. Our dew points and temperatures are pretty close together, so that's why we're seeing areas of patchy fog, especially into Charlotte, Mason, and down into Hillsdale. Satellite radar showing some showers here or there, nothing too big to worry about. Just keep your rain gear handy. As the day progresses, we'll see a few showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder, but temperatures remain into the 70s. All the full details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News This Morning continues right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News This Morning.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. Today is May 14th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Vaselli. 6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. President Donald Trump will leave Saudi Arabia today and head to Qatar. The visit comes as he continues to push back against bipartisan criticism over his decision to accept a lavish plane from the country's government. Meanwhile, as Naomi Ruckham reports, the White House is touting a deal for billions of dollars in investments between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia.
This morning, President Donald Trump heads to Qatar for the second leg of his Middle East trip, amid criticism over plans to accept a luxury jet from the wealthy nation. The president last night on Fox News.
With the United States of America, I believe that we should have the most impressive plane.
The president wrapped up his visit to Saudi Arabia today. The White House says the president secured $600 billion in Saudi investments following a day of meetings with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. At an investment forum, President Trump announced that he's lifting all sanctions on Syria as the country is now rebuilding after ousting former dictator Bashar al-Assad last year.
The sanctions were brutal and crippling. Now it's their time to shine.
He also issued this ultimatum to Iran over its nuclear program.
If I can make a deal with Iran, I'll be very happy. But if Iran's leadership rejects this olive branch and continues to attack their neighbors, then we will have no choice but to inflict massive maximum pressure.
While overseas, the president also focused on issues back home. On social media, he pressed Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to lower interest rates as the White House touted yesterday's Consumer Price Index report showing that inflation rose 2.3% annually in April, down 0.1% from March. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel now joining 19 other attorneys general to sue the Trump administration over its threats to withhold more federal funding. The group filed 2 separate lawsuits. The first against the Department of Homeland Security, its Secretary Kristi Noem, and FEMA. The other against the Department of Transportation and its Secretary Sean Duffy. In February, Secretary Noem directed several agencies to pause federal funding to jurisdictions that refused to assist with federal immigration enforcement. Then in March, her department forced recipients of federal funding to prove they helped to enforce these laws. AG Nessel argues it's illegal to tie immigration enforcement demands to federal funding that's unrelated to immigration. The Michigan Court of Claims now ruling 3 abortion regulations are unconstitutional. The court ruled yesterday that 3 things violate the state's constitutionally protective right to reproductive freedom, which Michigan voters passed under Proposal 3 back in 2022. Those include the mandatory 24-hour waiting period, the mandatory uniform informed consent requirements, and the ban on advanced practice clinicians providing abortion care. Governor Gretchen Whitmer says because of this ruling, Michigan patients and doctors no longer have to deal with what she calls outdated restrictions on abortion. Well, rescue places for cats and dogs are pretty common, but that's not really the case when it comes to reptiles and other unusual animals. So now a mid-Michigan-based rescue is working to address that by helping to find new homes for reptiles and amphibians. 6 News morning reporter Zoe Hewitt joins us now live at Saving Scales Reptile Rescue in Dansville. Zoe, I'm backing away from the camera. What do you got with you? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm at Saving Skills Reptile Rescue, and you might be watching as Kate and I are having fun with Godzilla here. Now, I promised you a big snake if you've been watching all morning. Godzilla is maybe 7 feet long. She's really big. She's wrapped around me right now. She is super strong. Now, Kate, earlier we were looking at some ball pythons. Are they getting this big?
No. Ball pythons, they tend to stay around 4 feet long. Godzilla is actually very petite at her 7-ish feet. Female Burmese pythons can easily get to 15 feet. So being prepared for those really big snakes is going to be important. Even if when they're a baby, they seem so small and cute. You really have to do some long-term research on that.
Now, you compared Godzilla to a particular breed of dog also, so this is a good comparison. What would she be?
So I always try to relate to people as far as she's like the Great Dane of snakes. She's big, but she's maybe not your brightest cookie. She does not have all of those IQ points. She's just kind of hanging out and living her best life and slowly checking things out, and has a really calm and personable demeanor.
You know, and it's really cool. As she's wrapped all the way around me, I don't know if you can see, she's like around my arm. She's been around my waist, my leg. You can really feel her strength too. And make no mistake, right? These small enclosures behind us are not where she lives. How much space does she need?
So when we adopt out Godzilla, we're going to be looking to make sure she has an 8-foot enclosure or even larger. Some people have gone as far as renovating their walk-in closets and things like that, just to be able to provide that amazing environment for them.
So there is a lot here at Saving Skills Reptile Rescue. And, if you want to adopt more than a cat or a dog, there are places for it, and this is one of them. So live here on location at Saving Skills Reptile Rescue, I'm Zoe Hewitt with 6 News This Morning.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
I think I'm going to stick to the cats and dogs as we head throughout the day today. Snakes are kind of just a little bit creepy for me. But right now we're going to continue to see quiet conditions in the forecast and quiet temperatures as well. We're seeing temperatures into the 50s right now into the Lansing area, 59 degrees, 61 in Charlotte and Mason, 62 in Jackson. Our dew points are pretty close to our temperatures, which means we are going to see some patchy fog across the area. Only a half-mile visibility down into Hillsdale, 4 into Charlotte, 3 into Mason, still around 8-mile visibility here in the Lansing area. Satellite radar is showing that we're going to continue to have quiet conditions, maybe some patchy, drizzly conditions throughout the day, and we'll continue to see cloudy skies, maybe a pop-up shower or storm moving into tonight. As we head throughout the day today, temperatures are going to warm into the 70s, and we'll continue to see the green paw throughout the day, yellow paw as we head into the afternoon, as we do have those chances for some pop-up showers and storms. So if you're like Gizmo and like the outside, you might want to take frequent water breaks, take some time inside, and just stay cool today. As we head into tomorrow, more chances for showers and storms, and some of those could be severe as well.
All right, Kelsey, thank you for the update. Coming up in our What's on the Web segment, the hundreds of people, including lawmakers, who gathered at the Breslin Center to raise money for child abuse prevention. Your time is 6:38. Thank you so much for starting.